Hey collective, it's your girl Sadie Rose coming to you with another message of the day. The message today is I'm starting to rise. That is a fully loaded statement because I feel like my whole life I have waited to get to this point. I always knew as a kid that I was supposed to be some kind of spiritual leader. I used to have a reoccurring dream of me standing in a studio and all these people looking at me. And when I was a kid, I dreamed other things, but that was and I thought that it was American politics. I thought that it's kind of like when you don't know what you're supposed to be or how you're supposed to get there, and you try to set a vision and try to follow it, but eventually you hit it at the end of the road, and I could not know who I was supposed to be to this moment because of the way that things are now in terms of being a spiritual teacher and the evolution of holistic health. And now we have all of this social media available, as well as the growing just awareness, self-awareness. And I feel like that not knowing when I was younger definitely contributed to the blur, the haze, the confusion that I had throughout these years of kind of like, where do I go? Once I got out of law school and I started working, and then I really understood politics and policy, and I really saw how those people were, I had to say, well, who am I? Like, do I really want this? And how could I ever be a leader? How could I ever be in American politics with the way that people are, And so that led to me wondering. And I'm just so happy because I, for the first time in my life, really first time, understand why I'm here. I understand my life assignment. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a healer. I've been healing for a while now. I've been doing it through policy and politics and advocacy and community-based programs, and I will continue to do that work. I love healing people because it helps me heal too in the process of it. I love advocating for people. But it is amazing when you finally get clarity on your life's purpose, because then you can focus everything to it. In the moment that I understood what I wanted to do and why I was here and who I'm supposed to be, also, I began understanding the importance of spirituality in the relationship with yourself, in the relationship with God. I became self-aware. I think I've always been a very genuine, nice, humble person, but I lacked fundamentally self-awareness. And I can say, when you say I'm starting to rise, there's so many different elements of it. You could have nothing. You could have $20. You could have $10 in your pocket and still be rising. As long as you are being honest with yourself and you are committed to growing yourself, identifying things about yourself, not living in illusions, committing to not live in illusions is rising up. Because that's part of the biggest challenges we are all facing today. There are just so many illusions, and there's so many of us who accept the illusions, and there's so many of us who ignore what's actually happening in our lives, and we ignore what's happening with ourselves, and we put it to the side. There are also so many of us who take drugs, who drink, who, do other things. I'm not saying that, everything is bad, if it's in moderation. But if you're over drinking to drown away your freaking sorrows and the reality of your life, that's not good. That's sickness. And I do look at everything, even behavioral health, in terms of just mental health, substance use. Like, It's all part of wellness and well-being. Like, it's part, when we talk about health, health is physical, it's mental, it's emotional, and it's spiritual. We have to start looking at it that way. And that's another evolution of how I think about things, because I've been focused on the physical, the mental, right, and emotional, but I wasn't looking at the spiritual like I should have been. But we have to make a decision to stop idolizing those things. Alcohol, cannabis, if you're doing it excessively, whatever you're choosing. You can have an addiction to bad relationships. Whatever you're idolizing, whatever you are using to take your mind off of you. If you all up in other people's business and you obsessing about their business and you chatty patty, and y'all in everybody else's business, but you're not being real with yourself, then you're not rising, you're not transforming yourself. So when I say I'm rising up, am I a millionaire like in the physical as of this moment? Not yet, but I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire too. Like I said before, y'all can't convince me any different. And the reason why I focus on prosperity is because it's my inheritance. I firmly believe that. Those of us who have done the hard work, who have faced our shadows, who have gotten our butts whooped in the process, when we've had people oppose us and try everything in their power to hold us back and to block us from rising, you're going to earn your inheritance too. Everything is energy currency. If you're doing the work, if you're transforming yourself, if you're committed to being kind and compassionate and being a good person and really, really looking at your community holistically as one, you're going to be elevated. You're going to rise. So regardless if you have money, regardless if you get fired, regardless if you have anybody talking crap about you or saying you ain't nothing, regardless if most people don't like you, I'm going to tell you, I could count on my two hands the number of people who really like me. It's just what it is. And at some point you got to be accepting of that, but you got to even no matter what nobody say, including your family, if you putting in the work for yourself, and if you being real with yourself, and you decide you're going to break them generational curses in your family, whether it's having to do with hypersexuality, whether it's with addiction, whether it's with greed, whatever it is, as long as you know that you putting in the work and that you feel connected to the Most High God, that's what matters. Also, what matters is that part of rising up is letting go of all your dead weight. If you got people surrounding you in your energy field who don't have your best interests in mind, who have served their purpose for whatever it was in your life, whatever it was, and it's time to let them go, you got to let them go. And I know it ain't easy. I know it's not easy. Shoot, I'm going through something like that, not on a personal level, but there are things that you have to choose to let go when they serve their purpose in your life, whatever contrast, you got to let it go in order to rise. So as long as you putting in the work, you're going to do it. Now, it ain't going to be easy. Facing yourself, rising is rocky, especially when you're getting near to your abundance. It's going to get rough. Everybody going to start coming out. They're going to come out in the woodwork. I'm going to tell y'all, this last week, 2 weeks, I've had so much crazy stuff happen to me. I literally just was like, it's kind of like when you close your eyes and you go, just breathe, because it's swirling all around me. And if I paid attention to what's happening in this physical world, it would make me believe that I'm doing something wrong, that I am not going in the right path. But I know the truth, and I know that I am on the verge of success and transformation. I know I'm rising. So always consult with yourself first and the Most High God. Have a good day.